Well, here we are, Pete. As you can see, tigermoth is behind me. We're in the hangar right now, and what I'm going to show you is a couple different things just to help you along your way. This is going to be a very straightforward, easy process for you, believe me. If you can't handle this plane, then you have absolutely no business at all being in aviation of any kind. But I'm going to show you how to start it. It does start very, very easily. There's just a simple procedure that you follow. I'm going to take you through several different procedures. I'll skip an awful lot of the intro and the dialogue because I'm sure you'll be able to find out exactly what it is that we're looking at when we get ready to look at it. So inside the tigermoth, we've got some very basic gauges. You can see a water temperature gauge, which is right here. And we've got our RPM gauge, our volts to let us know that the alternator is doing its job, the altimeter, and of course the airspeed indicator. The airspeed indicator having a VNE of 110 miles an hour. The slip indicator is nice to have, but actually is not needed to fly this plane. You may find that your ball is just a little bit off center one way or another. It's not a big deal. It flies perfectly. Just look outside and keep your wings level. It's one of the benefits of having an open cockpit. The check engine light is inoperable, and I'll explain that to you a little bit, but then I'll go into it a little bit later on. The check engine light came on one time for me and scared the living bejesus out of me for something completely simple. So I've decided to go ahead and remove it from the circuit so that you don't have any forced landings for no reason. Obviously, if the engine's running good, it's sounding good, then there's nothing to be alarmed about. The check engine light can be triggered by a number of different things. Those things could be something simple as leaving the idle on over 1,000 RPM for more than a minute at a time. So I thought it was best just to go ahead and remove that from the circuit. The oil pressure sender unit, you can see there to the left, that's the middle light, and the alternator light are both functional. When you start the plane, Pete, you're going to see a lever down here. This lever is the power lever. This lever will turn on the oil pressure, and it will also turn on the alternator light simultaneously. You'll know that you have power because both of those lights will light up. Now, you'll also hear a pump, the fuel pump, turn on. That fuel pump will turn on for a maximum of 3 seconds. If that fuel pump doesn't turn on, then the plane's not going to start. But you'll hear it run. It'll go boo for about 3 seconds, and then it'll shut off once the system's got enough pressure. The black switch here is the power for your cigarette lighter, apertures, the accessories that you might add later on, and then of course your instrument switch here, which will turn on your instruments, your voltmeter and your everything else. And then this is your strobe here, which is under the belly of the airplane. So simply turn everything on. Make sure that you've got your lights turned on just like they are right now, and then simply place your hand on the throttle, and we want to make sure that the throttle is 100% closed and just a crack. Now, when I say a crack, I'm talking about maybe a quarter of an inch. But we don't want the plane to run off with you when you do start it up. Now, the next thing you do is make sure, obviously, that the prop is clear, but you're going to press the start button. You don't want to hold the start button in for more than 3 or 4 seconds at a time, but you'll see very quickly it'll start right up. Okay, contact. Now, Pete, we're inside a building here, and I'm sure that you can hear me fairly well. This is the typical noise of this airplane. The engine is purring along smoothly at 1,000 RPM. I don't know if you can see this on the RPM meter. And of course, to verify, I can move it up slightly so that you can see. And once it's warm, it only takes a few seconds for it to warm up. You'll see that the RPMs will start to decrease slightly as the richness of the engine starts to decrease. Now, the temperature, you'll see the temperature is at 100 degrees right now. That's because I just started it up. It's ice cold, and we'll let it run up for a little while so that you can get an idea, but you want to take off after the temperature has reached over 150 to 170 degrees. 180 degrees to 210 degrees is its normal operating temperature, and anywhere in that range is fine. And of course your voltmeter, you can see your alternator is doing its job. And if we flip the switch that we talked about before, you'll notice that all the gauges stop working. So make sure that your gauges are turned on, and you'll see the plane just idles smoothly, not a hitch, and